Hi there, my name's Ms Dursun. Usually I teach year 3 and my elective is yarn craft. So today I'm going to be showing you how to do some yarn crafts, and we're going to be making these little stripy friendship bracelets. So it's got a nice spiral pattern and different colours, and just makes a really nice bracelet. So if you would like to make one of these, you're going to need just a few different materials. You are going to need some sellotape. You are going to need a pair of scissors. And of course, you're going to need some yarn. It can really be any kind of yarn, as long as it's not too thick. I've got some left over from another project that I did, so I'm going to be using these this morning. You also want to be sitting at a table for working. Once you've got all of those things, we can get started. So I am going to make a red and yellow bracelet to show you guys how it works. And the first thing we need to know is how much yarn we're going to use. So if I start with my yellow yarn here, when you're measuring the yarn to make sure your bracelet is going to fit on your wrist, you need to make sure that it is twice the length of this part of your arm. So we can measure like this. You take the end of the yarn, hold it in your hand, and bring it down to where your elbow is. Then, holding on to that point, you fold it, and then you can see once you've got 2 times that length. And to make these bracelets, what you then need to do is fold in half again, and we want that same length again. So in actual fact, the piece of yarn that you cut is 4 times the length from your wrist to your elbow. So I've got the yellow yarn here that I cut earlier, and I also am using some red. So again, hold in my hand, measure to my elbow, and fold to check where 2 times the length is, and then I fold again to check where 4 times that length is. So I'm going to put these together, the red and the yellow yarn, and the first step is to fold them in half. So I'm going to find where the middle is, and fold them in half. So you've got this little loop here. You need to make a knot in the end. Okay, so you can see there's my knot, and I've still got a little loop on the end. This is important later for being able to wear your bracelet on your arm. So once you've done that, you're going to take that and take your sellotape, and you are just going to tape the end of the yarn to the table. So where that loop is, I'm going to tape it down to the table. This just makes it easier for me to be able to work on the bracelet. So I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see how exactly to make the bracelet. Okay, so we are here. We've taped the loop at the top to our table, and we're ready to start making the bracelet. This could seem a little bit fiddly at first, but you just need a bit of patience, a bit of perseverance, and you'll be able to make yourself a beautiful bracelet. So you can see I'm using 2 colors for this bracelet just to show you guys. You can use however many colors you like. So this bracelet has got 4 different colors, for example. I need to decide which color I'm going to use first. So I'm going to use red first. And I take one of these red threads and I pull it slightly to the side. The other threads I leave straight down the middle. And I take this red thread here and I make a number 4. Can you see now how that red yarn is making like a number 4 across here? Then I take the end of the yarn and I put it underneath those other yarns that are there. Okay, so it comes up here in the middle. I'm going to take that end in one hand, and with the other hand I'm going to hold these yarns that are going down the middle and pull. And you can see it makes a little knot, which I'm just going to bring up to the top. Don't need to pull it really tight, just give it a gentle little tug. And then the same again. I make the number 4. I get the end of the yarn. I bring it up through the middle here. I take the end of the yarn with one hand. I hold on to the other yarns with my other hand. And I pull to make the knot. And again, make the number 4. Take the end of the yarn. Bring it up through the middle of your work. Pull with one hand. Hold on to the other yarns and bring it up to make a knot. Okay, and you keep going like this. I'm just going to speed it up a bit. Keep going, making your knots in the same way until you decide that you want to change color. So I've got a little red stripe here at the top. Now I would like to swap over my colors and make a yellow stripe on my bracelet. So to do that, it's really simple. I just put this red thread that I was using back into the middle of my work, and I pick up instead a yellow yarn. And now I'm going to be working with the yellow yarn, making that shape, the number 4, at the end of my yarn, up through the middle, and give everything a gentle pull. And that then changes the color of my bracelet from red to yellow. And you can make your stripes as thick as you want to. You can make them big, thick stripes, or you could make them smaller stripes. It's completely up to you. So I'm just going to speed this up a little bit. And I will come back to you guys in a bit once we have a longer bracelet. I'll show you how to finish off. Okay, so you can see I've been working on this bracelet a little bit longer. If you find that your bracelet's moving around a lot while you're trying to work on it, you can always move the sellotape a bit further down so it keeps everything nice and still. So I'm going to stop there for now and show you how to finish off your bracelet. Very simple. All you need to do is take all of the ends that you have here and make a knot. And just make sure your knot goes right to the end of the bracelet. Okay, give that a good pull so it's nice and tight. So I've got my knot there at the end, and then with the ends that are left here a little bit longer, all we're going to do is braid them. So for that I need 3 separate strands and a classic good old plait. Don't worry if you need a little bit more time to do your braiding, or again you want to use the sellotape to help hold it still a little bit, that's fine. So you want a good length of braiding or plaiting at the end so we can tie it onto our wrist. When your braid is long enough, we're going to just tie this off again with a knot. Nice and tight. And then any extra bits from the end, we're just going to snip off. So then you can take the sellotape off the table and you have your finished bracelet. You can see it's got this nice spiral pattern. And in order to put it on, all you need to do, put it around your wrist, and where you've got that loop at the end, the plait that we added end of our bracelet just goes through that loop, and you can tie it off in a knot, and there you have your bracelet. So thank you for joining me. I hope you have fun making your own friendship bracelets. Perhaps you can make some to share with your friends to let them know you've been thinking about them. Hand them out when we get back to school. Take care, have fun, and bye for now.